Look, I don't care. You can tell him he can shove it right up his... Oh, hi there! Guess who? It's me, Toiley Tea Paper, and welcome to another episode of Potty Time Story Time. Today's story is a classic. We're going to be reading a story from the Frog and Toad Treasury by Arnold Lobel. So sit back, relax, and breathe deep as you try to push. Here is today's story. Spring by Arnold Lobel. Frog ran up the path to Toad's house. He knocked on the front door. There was no answer. Toad! Toad! Shouted Frog. Wake up! It's spring! Blah! Said a voice from inside the house. Toad! Toad! Cried Frog. The sun is shining! The snow is melting! Wake up! I am not here, said the voice. You know what? I'm already 100% on Toad's side in this situation. Frog walked into the house. Oh, just let yourself in, why don't you? It was dark. All the shutters were closed. Toad, where are you? Called Frog. Go away, said the voice from the corner of the room. Toad was lying in bed. Yeah, because he was sleeping. He had pulled all the covers over his head. Frog pushed Toad out of bed. He pushed him out of the house and onto the porch. Wait a minute, isn't the name of the book that this story came from called Frog and Toad Are Friends? I think it's going to be called Frog is Dead here in a minute. Toad blinked in the bright sun. Help, said Toad. I cannot see anything. Yeah, you can't see that your friend's a real jerk. Don't be silly, said Frog. What you see is the clear, warm light of April, and it means that we can begin a whole new year together, Toad. Think of it, said Frog. We'll skip through the meadows and run through the woods and swim in the river. In the evenings, we'll sit right here on the front porch and count the stars. Boy, this Frog sounds like a real exciting guy. You can count them, Frog, said Toad. I'll be too tired. I'm going back to bed. And if you wake me up again, you'll be counting the stars from the punch in the face I'm going to give you. Toad went back into the house. He got into the bed and pulled the covers over his head again. But Toad, cried Frog, you will miss all the fun. Yeah, skipping through meadows sounds like a bucket of fun. Listen, Frog, said Toad, how long have I been asleep? You have been asleep since November, said Frog. Well then, said Toad, a little more sleep will not hurt me. Come back again and wake me up at about 1/2 May. Good night, Frog. Boy, this Toad is my kind of sleeper. But Toad, said Frog, I will be lonely until then. Hey, Frog, look up codependency in the dictionary. Toad did not answer. He had fallen asleep. Good for Toad. Frog looked at Toad's calendar. The November page was still on top. Frog tore off the November page. Oh, way to be cavalier with somebody else's property. He tore off the December page, and the January page, the February page, and the March page. He came to the April page. Frog tore off the April page too. Wait a minute. November to December to January to February to March to April? The Calendar Association would never allow that to happen. You gotta buy a whole new calendar. Then Frog ran back to Toad's bed. Toad, Toad, wake up! It's May now. What? Said Toad. Can it be May so soon? Yes, said Frog. Look at your calendar. This Frog is a real son of a bitch. Toad looked at the calendar. The May page was on top. Why, it is May, said Toad as he climbed out of bed. Oh, Toad, you big dum-dum. Then he and Frog ran outside to see how the world was looking in the spring. The end. Well, I guess the moral of that story is lie to your friends to get them to do what you want. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Potty Time Story Time. I'll see you next time, and don't forget to flush. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment below telling me what story you'd like me to read next.